Erudite. গভীর জ্ঞান থাকা বা দেখানো।
If you call someone erudite, that means they show great learning. After you've earned your second fit, you will be truly erudite. Erudite is from Latin verb erudire, to teach, which comes from rudis for raw, unskilled, ignorant, the source of our word rude. If you bring someone out of a raw state, you educate them, so someone who is erudite is very educated indeed, and perhaps a bit of a show-off. Taking these meanings into account, erudite stays true to its etymology. Someone who is erudite has been transformed from a rahant or uniformed state to a polished and knowledgeable one through devotion to learning.
Synonym:
Knowledgeable, literate, scholarly, brainy, cultivated, educated.
Antonym:
Undecated, common, ignorant, uncultured. Esoteric, শুধুমাত্র নির্দিষ্ট কিছু মানুষের কাছে বোধগম্য, গুপ্ত.
Do you know the secret handshake? If you haven't been brought into the inner circle of those with special knowledge, esoteric things will remain a mystery to you.
In the olden days, achieving esoteric knowledge meant getting initiated into the mystical arts and learning secrets unknown to regular folks. Now when a subject is called esoteric, it's usually something not so mystical but still hard to penetrate. The opposite of esoteric is exoteric. According to one account, those who were deemed worthy to attend the Greek philosopher Aristotle's learned discussions were known as his esoterics, his confidants, while those who merely attended his popular evening lectures were called his exoterics. Since material that is geared toward a target audience is often not as easily comprehensible to outside observers, esoteric acquired an extended meaning of difficult to understand.
Synonym:
Abstruse, arcane, mystical, Delphic, achromatic, Kabbalistic.
Antonym:
Familiar, noun, obvious, public, unmysterious. Eulogy, মৃত ব্যক্তির প্রশংসার একটি আনুষ্ঠানিক অভিব্যক্তি.
At every funeral, there comes a moment when someone speaks about the life of the person who died. The speaker is delivering what is known as a eulogy. A eulogy is a formal speech that praises a person who has died.
Less common synonyms for this kind of praise the dead speech are panegyric and encomium. Sometimes the dead person was so unimpressive that there's nothing nice to say. And sometimes they were so awful that the only appropriate speech is a deslogy that describes their faults and failings.
Synonym:
Citation, paean, tribute.
Antonym:
Blame, censure, criticism, denunciation, disapproval, calumny, condemnation. Euphemism, আক্রমণাত্মক কোনো কিছুকে ভদ্রচিত উপায়ে বলা.
Euphemism is from Greek euphemismos, meaning good speech, and it's a way that we paper over uncomfortable things with more pleasant-sounding words. These days we tend to use euphemisms when talking about anything having to do with elimination of bodily waste, toilet, bathroom, and water closet were all originally euphemisms.
Synonym:
Circumlocution, delicacy, floridness, grandiloquence, inflation, pomposity, pretense, prurism.
Exacerbate, আরো খারাপ করা.
The Latin adjective acer, meaning sharp, forms the basis of a number of English words. Acerbic, having a bitter temper or sour mood, acrid, having a sharp taste or odor, and acrimony, a harsh manner or disposition, are just the tip of the jagged iceberg. For a formal-sounding verb that means to make worse, try exacerbate. If you're in trouble, complaining about it will only exacerbate the problem.
Synonym:
Aggravate, annoy, heighten, inflame, intensify, irritate, provoke, worsen,
Antonym.
improve, place, soothe, comfort, compose, pacify, placate, exculpate, ফৌজদারি অভিযোগে নির্দোষ বলে ঘোষণা করা. Exculpate is the joining of the prefix ex, meaning not, and the Latin non culpa, meaning blame. Readers may be familiar with the Latin phrase mea culpa, which translates directly as through my fault, and is used in English to mean a formal acknowledgement of personal fault or error.
To exculpate means to find someone not guilty of criminal charges. If you've been wrongly accused of robbery, you'd better hope a judge will exculpate you, unless you want to go to jail because you've heard present food is amazing.
Synonym.
Absolve, acquit, amnesty, clear, condone, discharge, dismiss, excuse, exonerate,
Antonym.
censure, charge, condemn, convict, incarcerate, incriminate, punish, sentence. Noun of exculpate, exculpation,
Exculpate is verb. Exculpation is noun.
exigency, জরুরি অবস্থা.
The meaning of exigency is obvious from its source, the Latin noun exigentia, which means urgency, and comes from the verb exigere, meaning to demand or require. An emergency situation, or exigency, is urgent and demands immediate action. Think of a mix of excitement and emergency, and you have exigency, a sudden, urgent crisis. The very word conjures up danger and intrigue that demand a cool head and an immediate effort at a solution. Our lives are filled with exigencies, both large and small, from a child stuck in a tree to lightning striking your house to catastrophic river flooding. Each is an exigency, it's all a matter of perspective.
Synonym.
Contingency, vicissitude, acuteness, constraint, crisis.
Extrapolation, পরিচিত তথ্যের উপর ভিত্তি করে ভবিষ্যৎ সম্পর্কে অনুমান.
Extrapolation comes from the word extra, meaning outside, and a shortened form of the word interpolation. Interpolation might sound like a made-up word, but it's not. An interpolation is an insertion between 2 points. So an extrapolation is an insertion outside any existing points. An extrapolation is kind of like an educated guess or a hypothesis. When you make an extrapolation, you take facts and observations about a present or known situation and use them to make a prediction about what might eventually happen.
Synonym.
Calculation, estimate, estimation, forecast, computation, guess, prognostication.
Verb of extrapolation. Extrapolate. Adjective of extrapolation. Extrapolative. Another noun of extrapolation. Extrapolator.
So, extrapolate is a verb. Extrapolator and extrapolation is noun. And extrapolative is an adjective.